I took an amazing adventure to Greenland with Professor Jeffrey Welker. We met with scientists exploring how ecosystems function in the far north, the Arctic.
We're here today with the ornithologist of the High Arctic Institute on Saunders Island. We're a kittiwake colony. These colonies have tens of thousands of birds that are here over the course of the summer. And these birds have actually traveled thousands of miles, coming from the low latitudes, possibly Canada, parts of the US, parts of Europe. They've come here to spend the summers. They nest, rear their young, and then these birds will leave and spend their winters farther south. This is a prime example of the interconnectedness of the high Arctic to the low latitudes.
Boulder right in front of him.
I know, I see it. I'm Bridger Conkle. I'm up here working with Kurt Burnham in the High Arctic Institute. It's the 5th year I've been up here. Right now we're at Morisack Tern Colony. That's one of about 5 in the Thule area. Last year we put a number of geolocators on a tern island about 20 miles north of here. And today we were checking out this tern colony to check on feasibility for the same geolocator study, possibly starting next year. Geolocators, in a nutshell, they're a small unit that takes daylight readings and has a clock, and through that can give a location within about 100 miles anywhere in the world. You got to put them on 1 year, let them do their migration, the locator takes readings, and then the next year you got to catch the bird again, get the locator off, and download the data. It's especially interesting on Arctic terns because these birds have the longest migration of any bird on Earth that we know of. People know they show up here in the summer and breed, and they know that they end up in Antarctica 6 months later, but we really don't know where they go in between, and that's been the big question, actually.
The adventure and the science sound great. Attaching tiny devices to these birds lets us figure out how they migrate to Greenland from all over the planet. Knowing their flight paths and the lengths of stays in different places is at the root of answering some of the outstanding questions about the inner workings of nature. Bridger is a master of netting birds. Every bird means using a different method. First, to get close enough to catch them. Sometimes this means scaling cliffs where the nests are safest from predators. But this also means treating them as gently as possible. It's impossible to put geolocators on every bird. The work just to catch one is hard enough, but a small sampling of birds can be used to uncover the secrets of an entire community. Pretty neat. But this work also delves into the bigger picture of how changes in one part of the world can hop, skip, and jump to other parts of the world. What if a group of kittiwakes ran into a natural or human-made tragedy, maybe when they're wintering over near Massachusetts? What would happen if the birds don't return to the Arctic where nature's balance is so precarious? Or what if they carry poisons in their blood? Guess what happens to the predators that feed on them? Effects ripple around the planet, and the High Arctic Institute is approaching these brain teasers from a fascinating angle.
This is one of the most spectacular places I've ever been in my life. People today are, we feel like we're omnipotent and on top of things, but there are still places left like Greenland that offer a frontier experience nearly, and I think what's to be gained philosophically, scientifically, the understanding that we can glean from places like this are just invaluable, and experiences that I wish I could share with more people. These places are worth protecting, they're worth seeing, and there's a lot to be gained from being witness to this great place.